All right, everybody, welcome back to Saltmarsh.
Gilfin, I'm going to say you maybe you come into the kitchen area or wherever that might be, and you find your roommates in there. And Jacobo says to Jacobo's got this like child-size green robe in his hands, and he seems to be distraught. And he says, "Now look here, I'm not going to be wearing these bathrobes that you're running around in all day, all right? I'm not trouncing about in that, mate. Here, if it makes you happy, how about I do this?" And he takes his red bandana off the top of his head. He takes his dagger out, and he cuts like a bandana-sized piece of cloth out of the green robe, and he pulls the little squid-like Cthulhu lapel off of it, ties it around his head, and he puts the little lapel on his hat. There, happy now?
Oh, yeah, yes, it's very creative.
Right.
I was hoping.
So now you're wearing like a mark of the cult, basically.
Yeah, he was wearing a red bandana,
right?
This whole time, like a little
picture,
like a little pirate. But now he's got a green one on, and it's got the little. They wear these little lapels that have the Cthulhu face on them, and he's got that on his hat, like a little pin.
I was hoping it was a rum-induced nightmare, but.
Oh no, this is a full-blown cult emergency. I've been drowned and reborn in the light of the great old one. And I make quotation marks with my fingers, and I elbow you in the knee because I'm short.
If I know Elder Green, he doesn't like his followers talking as much as you do, Jacobo. You'll never graduate.
Yeah, this guy's all pretty quiet. That's gotta be your the other followers don't talk.
Well, they do talk. It's just they are constantly communing with our god.
Yeah, communing.
Aye, yeah, right. Well, I'm gonna go commune with our god in the outhouse. I'll be back. And he storms off outside.
While you all are chatting, one of your, let's say it's Elder Blackwood. What part are you guys still in the grotto here, or?
I imagine we're just in the house.
Yeah, we were in the kitchen.
Okay. Yeah, Elder Blackwood comes in the kitchen and he says, "There's a messenger from Saltmarsh outside waiting for you."
Oh, that's our gold. Maybe some more payment.
Thank you, Elder Blackwood.
Maybe our boats come.
Elder Blackwood is, would you like me to invite him in?
Yes, invite him in. Thank you.
Okay. And then, so Elder Blackwood, he leaves the room for just a moment.
Hey, there is something to have in these servants. I feel swanky up in here. Like a king. A fisher king.
And one of the Saltmarsh guards comes back, accompanied by Elder Blackwood. He says, "Message from the town council. You've been summoned."
I have.
You all have.
I'm used to getting my messages
even Gilfin, too?
Of course.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, what do they want?
Yes. My summons is to request the presence of Gilfin Murkwater, Jacopo Blackthorn, and Elder Green to the presence of the town council. I'm afraid I don't have any more information than that.
Oh, all right then. Well, I won't keep them waiting.
I'm used to my mail carriers just coming in a pair of underwears. That guy had too much clothes on to be a mailman.
The messenger, he leaves the summons on a table or something like that, and then he just kind of turns around and heads out the house. Rides away on his horse back to town.
He's got a horse? Yeah. Oh, these guys. Swanky. Swanky, I say.
Jacobo comes back into the house. Oh, well, let me tell you, mate. You do not want to go out there for a good 30, 40 minutes. What did I miss?
We're being summoned to the town council.
Yes.
Maybe they've finally chosen to recognize my congregation.
We, all of us, as in You two and me are being summoned.
I think they're confused.
Well, you still don't like old Gilfin, eh? Because he's not part
I'm
of
in the
your,
room. I'm in the
part
room.
part of our
I'm
church,
right
huh?
here. Literally standing right here, swinging my sword
Listen.
when we're in danger.
Listen, he's good in a fight.
He's
Is-
fine, I suppose.
You're going to debate this right here while I'm in front of you, and I don't even have a bottle of rum.
I found you. I found this guy wandering around outside. Elder, whatever your name is, how about whipping up some oatmeal before we go, eh?
It's Elder Lagras.
I call him Elder Doesn't Fish because he wouldn't come fishing with me when I offered.
We'll tell you, mate. You can give a man you can give a man a fish and feed him for a day, or you can teach him to fish and feed the rest of us as well.
10 days.
That's how that-
10 days is what the book says. 10
Elder
days worth of
Lagras
food.
Elder Lagras says to Jacopo, he's like, "No, I believe in my communion with the Great Old One. The oats were not supposed to be sacrificed to our stomachs until Thursday."
Well, I thought this joining your cult was supposed to come with some perks. Jeez.
Yes, we don't even have to think about what we can eat every day. We are just told.
What are you drawing there, Elder Green?
It's a picture, look.
Is that Gilfin dead?
No, he's just sleeping.
I probably passed out from rum. It's been known to happen.
Treatment of Captain Morgan. Well, I suppose we better head into town if we've been summoned, eh? I'll go get Cherry.
As you all are speaking, Elder Wilcox comes up from downstairs, one of the stairway leading to the grotto, and he says, "Elder Green, we have just received a boat delivery of gold into the grotto."
Oh, now I can take care of this. You guys, don't worry. I got this.
Oh, no, I wouldn't want you to have to lift it all by yourself, mate. I'll come
The
down
bags
here
are
with
probably about as big as you, Jacobo. You couldn't lift it. You just scrape it on the ground, mess it up. I can
you. All
lift
right,
it.
listen. I'll just follow behind you. Make sure it doesn't fall on the ground then, eh?
Yeah, when we get down below, it's the same two boat guards that ferried you back and forth to the
Ah,
Sea Ghost
shit.
have delivered.
Laurel and Hardy, it's been a long time. How you doing?
You find it's your share. Upon counting, you find it's your share of the treasure promised.
Did you give your
to the town council, the 700 gold pieces.
you give your son that wood? That wood that Jacobo gave you?
Yes, I did. I presented the soldier to my son. He was very thankful. We are honored, your lordships.
Oh,
I like
my
that
warms my
lordship.
heart, mate.
I haven't been royalty for like 10 years. This is great. Feels good again. Right.
When were you ever royalty, mate?
Oh, Jacobo, I'll tell you on the way to town.
Oh, I'd like to hear that story then. So we'll take the gold from them. So would that split 700 split between us three?
Yeah.
Sweet. Let's see what that would be. We'll use my little calculator here, which is a chisel and stone.
I think it's 300 apiece.
It's
Is that
two.
right?
It's 233 gold apiece plus 33 silver.
Oh, wow. I was close.
Good guess, your lordship.
You're going to call him that all the time, really?
Winks at you.
All right, your lordships. Your
How much
lordlings.
was it?
233 and 33 silver.
And the two town guards, they after they unload I'll say they're in crates of your gold. They sort of just get back in the boat and say, It was an honor to serve you again, your lordships. And they start rowing away.
I don't trust those guys. Shady looking.
Ah, they're all right, chaps.
I trust them.
Ah, well, I think you just don't trust anybody, Mike. You must have had some bad experiences with friendships in the past, eh?
Well, I mean, it's not like people are talking bad about me right in front of my face in a kitchen or anything.
Oh, don't be afraid of him, mate. He's just not warmed up to you yet because you're not the religious type. Like me, and I wink at you again.
I believe in gold, and I believe in this bag. That's the only God I need.
Well, this is more money I've ever had, that's for sure. I once got 10 gold for bringing home a 12-point deer out of the swamp. I didn't really kill it, though. I found it there. Told everyone I killed it. It was worth 10 gold, though.
You know, Jacobo, telling tall tales is not good for you. Telling lies will get you nowhere. Just truth. Now, let me tell you about the time I was going to marry a mermaid princess. Become king of the ocean.
Sweet. So, from this point on, I think we just
Yeah, I figure they
follow
just chit-chat
the,
while they're going,
follow-
you know.
follow the, yeah.
I won't bore you with a story or anything.
I feel like
Why
I
not?
feel like it was going to be implied. I felt like you were doing that for a radio show just now. Like there's supposed to be some trail off music. That's what you should do from now on. Come up with some play off like Seinfeld music for whenever Gilfin's about to tell a story. Yeah.
And that's why I can never go back to the beach. You know?
Gilfin, you suddenly remember, as a matter of fact, that the ghost lights that you all have seen out in the water on your march, back and forth from Saltmarsh to the haunted mansion, are familiar. And you've seen those same ghost lights off the coast of that island you were stranded on.
So I just kept eating all the fish, and of course, you can't be king of the ocean if you eat your peoples. Whoa. Hey, you guys ever notice that these lights keep appearing here? Out in the ocean?
Yeah, mate. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Well, makes me think that there's other boats coming in thinking... I mean, maybe there was more than one smuggling vessel, if you know what I mean. What if there's others coming to pick up supplies and whatnot? Maybe they don't know we've busted up the smuggling operation.
Well, I feel bad for them if they do come. I mean, that Blue Knight seemed pretty adamant about putting naval men out here to make a presence.
Gilfin, you also have like an instinctual dread of those ghost lights. Like they instill you with a horror. They're like responsible for, you connect them to your being stranded on that island in some way in your mind, but you're not sure how.
You ever seen lights like that, Jacobo?
Well,
Haunted lights?
should I make a history check to discover if I have to or no?
Well, everybody in Saltmarsh is familiar with the lights, and you all did make note of them early.
I probably
on,
haven't seen
so.
them at sea, though.
You know...
Out when I was sailing. No, I've never seen one out at sea. Just here at Saltmarsh.
You know why, Jacobo? Because they followed me from the island. When I was trapped, when I was stranded for those 4 years, they followed me all the way here to Saltmarsh to haunt me.
Gilfin, can I see your bottle of rum there?
Yeah, of course.
How much have you had today?
I drank about half, but that's breakfast. I'm about to have lunch, and then 11sies. I do them backwards.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that you had too much yet. You usually don't start talking nonsense until you have had 2 bottles, I mean.
Nonsense. I'm telling you stories, young man. Just because you're an elder now doesn't mean you're not a young man.
Them lights been out there forever.
They're every man that died on the sea serpent. They're all haunting
That's
me.
beautiful. I like that. They're very pretty.
And I'm not a young man. I'm 76 years old.
You're not an adult until you're taller than me. Them's the rules.
I'm actually
So-
not 76 years old. I'm 30.
Did you all decide to answer the summons of the town council?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we're on our way.
Yeah, I'm just waiting to go there.
No, we're
We
kind
are-
of just traveling.
We have been chit-chatting the whole time.
No,
We're-
that's
we're
okay.
traveling.
I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, we're going there. That's where we're headed. You can take over anytime you want.
Okay, so you arrive in Saltmarsh, and you notice that the town seems... the streets are more full of people than you've seen before. And to say the mood of the town kind of strikes you. Everybody's kind of got their heads down. You see groups of 5 and 6 people sort of clustered together, muttering. You notice that all the boats are docked and that there is a crowd gathered outside the town hall as you approach.
Well, I wonder what's going on here. We better get up there, mate. They probably need our help. These people look downright depressed. Well, look at that over there. That's Three-Eyed McGee. He's usually a happy motherfucker. He's somber as a sea cucumber. Something's keeping me wrong.
Miggy notices that you gesture his way. He says, "Oi, Jacobo!"
Yeah, McGee, what's going on here?
And he sort of waddles his way over to you, and as he does, one of his eyes seems to have 2 irises, and it kind of like rattles back and forth as he approaches. He says, "Oi, Jacobo! I thought that was you."
Yeah, it's me. What do you got going on here?
"Oh, everything stinks, and I mean it, up to high hell."
What's going on?
"Well, it's bad enough. The water's been shark infested lately, but it wasn't affecting us too bad until we had these last couple of holes. Ain't been a fish to have out there. The whole thing's dried up."
Well, that's because you guys don't know how to fish properly. Let me show you how it's done.
Well, I'd welcome a man of your experience if I thought it would help. But I tell you, every experienced sailor on the docks has come up dry these past few days. But that's all we can do is get back out there and try. If I would, I could take you out. But now, the council's voted to close down the docks.
Oh,
Well, that's not good. This town can't survive without their fish market. That's how
Well,
much
that's something
people
to
make
do
their
with what
living.
you boys got into. Or so they say.
listen,
Oh, boy.
I apologize
That's
to the king of the ocean about eating all that seafood, but I bowed out like a gentleman. That's not my fault anymore.
The king of the
Listen,
ocean's exactly who we're scared of. What is it you all found out there in that smuggling ship?
Listen, mate. Trust me, we didn't find nothing in that ship that would have anything to do with this.
Well, word
not
is
go-
you left no one alive.
Well, thank you.
Well, I mean, come on, McGee. I mean, you know me. I'm good with a sword.
It didn't take much plugging to make those 2 rowboatmen talk about the bloody knife work you all got up to.
Loose lips sink ships, and we wanted that sea ghost to keep staying afloat.
And Three-Eye just sort of, he looks kind of around. He says, "Not too good to stand around in one place too long. You keep yourself tidy, Jacobo. You too, Murkwater."
I will.
Keep it-
Thanks for the heads up. That's the last thing I want is a bunch of superstitious sailors mad at me.
He kind of ducks away with a nod of his head because the 2 guards that delivered your gold from earlier come walking up. He says, "Gentlemen, my lords, good to see you again."
You know, if we're going to keep meeting, we should really exchange names.
Yes. My name is Johann. That's the red-shirted guy on the left there. That's Johann.
Yo ho, Johan. Nice to meet you.
Yes. And this is Thomas. That's the guy on the left. I mean on the right. Sorry. The brown-shirted guy.
I'm just going to keep calling you Laurel and Hardy. You remind me of these 2 fellas I used to sail with.
Actually, that's my last name. It's Johann Laurel. Yes, and I'm Tom Hardy.
What a coincidence! So I'm just going to call you that from now on then.
Yep. It's Johann Laurel and Tom Hardy. That's amazing guess.
Well, I'm going to go play the lottery.
Yes. We've been sent to escort you to the town through to the council chambers. The town hall is filled with villagers angry at the closing of the docks. It's been an unpopular decision, but I understand the need, based on
Yeah.
what you found aboard that ship.
Well, all right. Well, get us inside because, like I said, I can't stand superstitious sailors mad at me.
You see this? We're like the sultans of Saltmarsh. We're getting all this extra treatment. This is wonderful.
Well, I don't know about that. I usually like to lurk around in the shadows, mate. But let's get this over with.
They bring you through the double doors to the town hall, and everybody's kind of crowding in. You hear whispers about, oh, it's them. Yes, the bloody pirate killers.
I like the sound of that.
No, they're not killers. They're heroes.
I've been called
They've
worse.
stopped an invasion. And you hear like, the ghost lights portend evil. Perhaps they've read the signs. Perhaps those weren't smugglers. The cults have been active again.
Oh, really?
Ghost lights.
This is just chatter you hear as you get pushed by. You can't stop to chat.
You hear that, Jacopo?
Everybody's
Ghost
sort of
lights. They seen it too.
Everybody's sort of elbowing against each other to sort of get close to you, and then guardsmen are sort of hustling them back with their pikes held out wide. And they sort of, Laurel and Hardy, hustle you through to the back chamber of the town council. There's sort of a like a judge's stand, and then an office behind it, and they hustle you in the door. And you see Gellin Primewater, Anders Solmore, and Ada Owland arguing at a table. And it looks like they have some of the documents recovered from the Sea Ghost.
Oh, g'day, chaps.
Yeah, so good of you all to come, finally. That's Gellin Primewater.
Nobody sent us a horse. We had to walk the whole way.
I got short legs, mate.
It's got tiny
Well,
legs.
Were you not paid well enough to purchase transportation?
Oh, it's bad character to go travelling around on horse. It's good exercise to walk around on foot. Keeps me spry.
Etta Owland, who, if you guys remember, is sort of she's a local that started small and made it big. She turns your way and she says, "Now that's enough, Primewater. I understand that you're mad at these boys for all the trouble that you got yourself into not knowing who you're hiring for your smug."
Well, listen, we didn't mean no trouble. We just did what we were bid to do. Well, what can we do to make all this right? What's going on there?
It'd be good enough if you can tell us what you haven't told us yet. What were your interactions with those scaly folk you found aboard the Sea Ghost?
Oh, them scaly folk.
There were scaly folk on the boat.
Yes, it's right here in the manifests.
Well, we didn't read no manifest. We were killing pirates.
Well,
You don't read when you're swinging a sword, and you can't do that, lady. It doesn't work that way.
No, I think you're more savvy than that, Mr. Murkwater.
Well, maybe I am, maybe I ain't.
Anders Solmore, he's the young guy in the middle. He kind of bangs his fists on the table. He says, "What's this have to do with anything? Whether or were there not lizards aboard that ship?"
Yes, mate, there were.
Yes, we know there were. And we know that they're going to attack Saltmarsh, weren't they? Didn't they come to attack? Isn't that what they admitted to you?
No, they didn't say anything like that. If they had said that, I'd have plugged them with old Cherry right here. Immediately. They said that they needed transport back to their home. But we didn't take them. We said we had to leave, and we just kind of left them there. It seemed a mite brutal to just go executing people that weren't openly aggressive to us. Otherwise, trust me.
And why should these barbarians have trusted you to transport them after they watched you butcher all men aboard?
This one right here's got a silver tongue. He convinced them that we would take them home. But really, we just left them alone. And then we came back and we told the Laurel and Hardy here what we had done. And, the rest is history.
Laurel and Hardy says, "We did witness it, your lordships. We witnessed them. We witnessed the butchery, yes, as we have told you. But we know that the scaly folk aboard was seen slipping off as we rode away.
Yeah,
they made no moves to hinder us.
You can't trust them, scaly folk, but they didn't try to kill us either. And they didn't say anything about attacking the town.
But these weapons were definitely for them."
Yeah, they said they had some sort of inner struggle of some kind.
Inner
You know, them
struggle.
lizard folks, they're always fighting with each other in the tribes. You know, they're always, raiding each other's villages and such. That's what I chalked it up to.
You all would know that there have not been lizard folk, not in this town for a near this town for a long time, not since the Hool Marches have overflooded and driven them away with all the haunts. There was a lizard folk
I'm not good at tracking
stronghold
time.
a while ago.
Yeah, it's
What
been a
did
long time since I've only heard stories of them, out in my training, out in the woods.
There's a few years I forgot.
If they return to that stronghold, it might be for a good reason.
So are you saying that we need to go and stop them from getting to that stronghold?
Perhaps it would be more prudent, this is Primewater again, for you to find out if they mean to attack us. Perhaps you could scout the location.
Well, I'm a pretty good scout myself. I'm down for that.
Well, an operation like this is going to cost us, money. We're going to need resources and supplies. What are we talking about?
Anders Solmore says, Jacopo Blackthorn, aren't you on my payroll?
That's right, I am.
You little son of a bitch.
Listen, mate, I'm a shipwright. I've got connections with this company here.
Yes, I would offer you the sea ghost, but it has been impounded, and I feel it's not at your disposal. We could have your two former accomplices, Laura and Hardy, take you in a rowboat, unless you've got transport of your own of some kind.
I got the Delgado.
Well, I used to have Oh, that's right. We've got his.
It's called the
say that
Delgado, Jacobo. Maybe if I called it Elder Delgado, you'd remember it.
Right, because I am an. Right.
Well, I am convinced that they are going to attack us. I've had my butler Scarin ride north to summon more troops from Keoland. Soon we'll be seeing more royal presence around town.
But why do you think they're going to attack if they have never attacked in years? What gives you the insight?
They are inhuman, barbarian creatures. How can you trust such people?
I mean, what do you...
I don't.
You consider anything that's not like you inhuman?
I do.
Okay, that's very forthright of you. I appreciate it. But what about mer people and dragonborn and...
Oh,
else?
certainly there are some folk that you can trust, but there are some folk you cannot. And these savages, they live like creatures out in the swamps. They're not civilized.
I agree. They probably don't even have an organized religion. I say we should go and investigate at one.
They worship a cruel, malevolent god who is unforgiving, just like several types of barbarian creatures out there. Some the same as you mentioned, although merfolk are known to be kind to sailors, and so are the oceanic elves.
What manner of god do these lizard folk worship?
Some cruel barbarian god, I'm sure. Something like the Lokatha might worship. Lokatha are primitive fish people, or the Kolinth, which are you guys know to be sea goblins.
But definitely not the great old one, right?
The great old one. What types of people would talk about that? Although word around the docks is that some of the older sailors have turned to the older ways.
Oh, really? I guess we'll have to visit the docks later, huh, Elder Jack?
Yeah, right. Looks like we'd better visit those docks real hard.
I all of a sudden have an urge to go find some lizard people now.
Primewater says, we will match you the reward from your last mission. 700 gold for scouting the region and finding the intention of these lizard people.
And we get to keep any loot we come across?
Yes, you may keep anything that you come across.
Right.
We would prefer that you don't provoke an all-out war. Quite the opposite. If you feel that their intentions are hostile, return to us immediately. We're not
May I
prepared
ask a question?
to fight a barbarian invasion. Yeah, in character or out of character?
in character.
Oh,
What language do these creatures speak?
it is known to some scholars that they speak the tongues of the dragons, the draconic.
Okay. I don't speak that.
However you decide to approach their lair, by sea or through the marshes,
Well, I'm pretty
you will
good
need
at
to take caution and not provoke a conflict.
I'm pretty good about navigating marshes and this. So, what do you say, boys? You want to follow old Jacobo into the swamp?
I think our best bet, if we want to sneak up on him, is not to be in the open sea. Try to sneak through the swamps.
I can do that with us. I'll take us right through. I know these swamps like the back of my hand.
Do you feel like they will react with hostile intentions if they catch you sneaking up?
That's a possibility, too. I was thinking that. If we come in...
Perhaps if you came to them openly, they would welcome you.
Well, they were ready to welcome us before, but you guys did go and take the boat, and they had to retreat, so I don't know if that truce that we had with them temporarily is still in place.
There were no Lizardfolk found aboard, just their remains when it was impounded. It seems as if they had abandoned it long before.
Right. Well, still, I don't know if they're gonna remember that we didn't come back.
Well,
yes, I suppose that depends on your reading of that particular situation now, doesn't it?
We'll be prepared for whatever outcome comes along.
Very well, we will advance your 700 gold up front.
Whoa.
I like this the way
And
this is working.
in return for the completion of this mission, we will make sure you are given the commission of the Sea Ghost once it is restored out of dry dock.
Whoa.
You got a deal. Jacobo doesn't even hesitate. He says, you've got a deal. He wants that boat.
May we speak, the three of us together, so we can plot and plan.
You may. You are dismissed from the council. We will send Laurel and Hardy with you to see your way out safely. There is a secret exit behind the office.
All right, then. Good day to you.
Good day, gentlemen, and good luck.
Right, and thank you for this golden opportunity. Oh, too right, mate.
Well,
Johan and Tom return and they escort you away.
how long were you working
And,
on that golden opportunity joke?
Oh, sorry.
Jacobo.
I'm sorry. I stepped all over
Jacobo,
it.
how long were you working on that golden opportunity joke?
I didn't even... It's not a joke, mate. It's a golden opportunity. So, too right, though. 700 gold. And a commission of my own ship. Our own ship, I mean.
Well, we need to figure out how we're going to go. But before Laurel and Hardy get with us, we need to decide what we want to do. Do we want to go in secret, or we want to go in open-armed? We did make a connection with those lizard folk.
Well, listen, mate. I've never been one for negotiating. I'm more of a sneak up and shoot my prey from afar kind of fella. If you want to take the lead on going in, I'll back you up.
Well, I know
My vote.
they didn't attack us when they had a chance.
Yeah, but I didn't like them. I don't like lizard folk. I don't like anything that can eat me.
Well, what says you, Elder Green?
I could eat you.
Okay.
Yeah, but it would take a lot more effort than it would if you had jaws and fangs and scales and claws.
I can have fangs if I want.
So I guess this is a matter of, do we discriminate against them? Do we hate the way they look, so we want to attack them? Or do we want to go and see if maybe...
Oh, no, mate. It's nothing about hating the way they look. It's respecting the way they look. They're monsters. And they taste like fish and chicken mixed together.
Let's say you all are having this conversation while you walk through the markets of Saltmarsh. You guys can purchase anything that you think you might need for the mission from the player's handbook, including those healing potions if you wanted to add more to your inventory.
I'm going to buy 2 more healing potions. Those are 50 apiece, right?
That's right.
I'll buy 2.
Are we separating that 750 gold?
Yeah, it's 233.33.
Let's make it 750 like he said instead of 700. The way you get 250.
So we each get 250?
250, yeah.
Okay.
Are you all going to go back to the haunted mansion before you, as a staging area, before you go, or do you want to leave from Saltmarsh?
I have everything I need if we came with it. Well, unless all my stuff's back at the house.
Well, if we're going to take...
I have everything I need.
If we're going to go on the Delgado, we should go back. We can take it from the grotto.
Sounds good to me. Are we going to sail up the coast and then go through the swamps, or what are we doing?
I think we should go openly.
We did. Look, we got on that pirate smuggler boat openly, and, well, we were able to handle ourselves. Maybe we'll be outnumbered. Maybe we'll die. I don't know. But I think that's our best bet, a direct approach.
So let's say you return to the Saltmarsh, the Ghost House Grotto, while you decide your plans.
Yeah, and while you guys, Gilfin kind of sneaks away.
Well, I guess it's 2 against 1 then. We'll go right on in. Hope you don't mind if I hear old Cherry loaded and ready to go. I don't trust monstrous folk. Monstrous folk do not like folk like us. We have a sense of decency. They're barbarians, mate. They'll eat each other if they're hungry. That's why I don't trust creatures like that. Anything that's going to go and turn around and eat one of its own kind, that's just not good.
Well, let's say you guys board. So are you? Let's say you board the Delgado one way or the other.
So Gilfin was probably gone for about 2 hours, and Gilfin's buried all his gold. Okay, he left and he buried his gold. Now he's coming back. All right, that's taken care of. I'm ready to go.
You look dirty, mate. Where have you been?
I've been rolling around in the dirt. Try to get the cobwebs off.
Is that how you bathe?
Yeah, sometimes.
I couldn't tell from the smell.
They call that a dirt horse bath.
Well, I got the ship packed up pretty good here. I think we're ready to go.
Thank you. Crewman Jacobo. On my boat, you're a crewman.
Sounds good, mate. Aye, aye.
Come on, Prospect Green. Come aboard my boat.
I'm up there. Here we go.
So you can imagine it has the places for the rowers, but this one is not manned as such. But it can be sailed by one person, and it's got that little aft castle there, which is sort of a wheelhouse. You can go in there and keep supplies and stuff like that. It's sort of a dry area on the boat. Everything else would be kind of exposed to the open air.
All right.
So it's a good-sized boat, but it's just got the one mast and one sail. And you guys can have the Delgado all packed. And you would be sailing north up the coast back towards Saltmarsh to head to the Hool Marches. And you can either dock in the sea and enter the marshes, or you can continue sailing up and approach the inlet to the Lizardfolk stronghold. You would have seen maps for that. You would have seen this map at the town council meeting. To know that you can approach following the river in.
Well, Gilfin...
or you can sail around.
Gilfin is not as good a captain of his own vessel as Jacobo, but he's going to play it off like, okay, Jacobo, now's your chance to earn your stripes. Why don't you go ahead and lead her down the river?
Oh, too right, mate. I'll get right on it. And I inspect the layout of the ship, and I get on the...
the ship is somewhat like the Millennium Falcon. It's not quite perfect condition, but she's held together nicely. She'll
So
hold.
just
She'll
to be
hold.
clear about that map that I sent out there, guys, that stronghold, the sort of the big blob with the elevation maps there,
Yeah.
and you've got C on the west side there. That would be the main entrance to the stronghold over the marshes.
Okay.
Or you've got D on the north side there, sort of in an inlet, and that would be the where they could kind of see you sail up if you decided to come out in the open.
Well, thumbs up for approaching from C, thumbs down for approaching at D, okay?
Well, I gotta do that. Okay, I don't.
We'll type it in and then
I
on
don't
3
know
we'll,
how to do this stuff. I'm an old man. Wait, thumbs up for what? Thumbs down for what? I don't remember.
thumbs up we approach from the marsh. Thumbs down we approach from D.
I thought we established this. Okay.
Oh, you guys literally put the thing on the thing. All right.
Yeah.
We put a hat on a hat.
I see.
All right, so you all
D it
board
is.
the Delgado and start sailing north up the coast. It's going to be about a 4-hour journey. An hour to sail past Saltmarsh, and then another 3 hours up the coastline till you get to that inlet when you'll be in sight of the stronghold. You can calculate this, Gilfin, as the captain and an experienced fisherman, based on the charts you saw at the town council.
Looks like we got some bonding time ahead of us.
Yeah, we sure do. Let's crack open some of that there, Captain Morgan, eh?
You know, I met Captain Morgan once. A little scrawny fella. Couldn't hold his weight in alcohol. Couldn't even have two glasses of rum and he'd be done. Little wimp.
Aye. Well, I'd never met the man. I just like his rum.
I remember one time I had Captain Morgan in a headlock and I had Sailor Jerry in the other headlock and a couple of knuckleheads.
A kraken destroyed my ship.
Oh, here we go again. I told you, sea creatures are not evil.
It came out of nowhere. Giant tentacles wrapped around the boat, ripped it right in half, mate.
Quite possible you did something to offend it. Possibly you drove it to its house. Could you have sailed into its house, Jacobo?
Maybe it was because I was drinking Sailor Jerry's mixed with Captain Morgan.
You all sail north up the coastline, and you notice that there's a dark cloud cover, even though it's midday. It's really gloomy out, and there aren't any other boats out of port. No fishermen boats, no King's Patrol boats. The seas are calm, and they're gentle winds, but they happen to be blowing north in the direction that you need to go, so it's pretty easy sailing.
No lanterns?
No lanterns are lit because it's still sort of the indirect sunlight. It's bright enough out, especially glistening off the water to see, and but no lanterns need to be lit.
No ghost lanterns
That's
following
right.
me?
Oh, I'm sorry, the ghost lights. Yes, you do notice that the ghost lights are visible even now during the day with the overcast, and it seems to be closer, either closer or bigger. You're not sure.
You see those lights over there, Jacobo? Those are the Marx brothers. The three of them were on the Sea Serpent. They worked down in the stronghold.
Aye.
I could tell by the way they're flickering, especially that one. He used to always honk a lot.
Ah. With what, his nose?
They're following me. I don't know. He's a weirdo. I mean, come on. Most sailors are weirdos. You know that. Too much sun, too much rum.
So, Ilda Green, is it pronounced Fenugli Magwalnaf Cthulhu's Rylan Wagnal Faktagen?
No, it comes from the heart. You have to feel the words. Cthulhu Fatagen Role. Just feel. Let him speak through you.
Fratata Twatha Lokathrak Twatha.
I like
You all
that.
sail along, and you kind of notice the wind is kicking up, and there's some white caps rocking the boat at the completion of your incantation.
What you do?
Gilfin, you start to feel really terrified. You get a sense of overwhelming dread.
You're cursing us. You're cursing us with your demon tongue. Watch it.
Now, it's exactly how you feel. You feel as if you've been cursed.
I kind of put my hand to the side, like I'm trying to whisper to Gilpin, like, trust me, mate. This stuff is just a bunch of mumbo
You see these
jumbo.
white caps? You see those dead lights? We're getting surrounded by the dead.
Saltmarsh is sort of faded out of sight, and you can see the marshlands kind of begin to creep into view up ahead in the north.
Don't be silly, mate. This is just the marsh. It's a very mysterious place. Trust me. I
Silly
grew up here,
is
you know.
not seeing the demons in the mist.
As you hug the coastline, you can't really tell what part of the marshland is spilling out into the ocean, unless you notice closely that the water in the marsh is sort of more brackish and brown.
You just leave this to old Jacobo. I used to live here, you know.
Oh, you're starting to
What's
speak that
everybody's
tongue.
passive perception?
Mine is...
I got 13.
I think mine is just 11.
14.
Yeah, Elder Green's just on the edge of the boat enjoying it. Oh, look at how green it is. Look at this swamp. That's my Elder Green voice, sorry.
As you all are chatting, sorry. Go ahead and make a perception check. Go ahead and make a perception check, Jacopo.
Okay, Oh, shit. Hang on. That's 7.
Okay. As you're talking, the wind kind of kicks up and the sails flap loudly. The white caps start to crest a little bit higher. They're about 3 feet, and the boat starts rocking sort of violently.
You hear the sirens calling. Do you hear the sirens calling, Jacobo?
No, mate.
We've
Trust
upset
me,
the
it's just
sea.
a little bit of...
Your Kraken's
just a
going to
little
come.
bit of
We've upset your Kraken.
Gilfin, you are hearing a siren song in your head. You're remembering.
No, mate, it's just a little bit of chop. It's normal for this part of the sea. Don't worry about it.
Elder Green, you feel the presence of Cthulhu. You feel as if you feel sort of an eldritch tickle up and down your body.
Trust me, I know these waters like the back of my hand. No
He's
danger.
near. I can feel it. Elder Green is going to put his hands down into the water.
Oh, don't do that
Gilfin,
now.
you know you're still about 2 hours away. Elder Green, as you sort of reach over into the water, you see in that picture of the swamp, you see that face peer back at you.
Oh.
And one of them, and that face kind of leaps out past yours, and 6 demonic fish-like creatures sort of leap over the rails and onto the boat.
Hello there.
They've all got spears poised above their heads, and they catch you all completely unawares. So these guys are going to attack you with a surprise round. You guys can go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh, hello there. You've caught me completely unawares.
You guys got to get out of here. There's a siren going to kill us all.
Cthulhu's tentacly beard.
It's 11 for me.
Oh, are we doing that?
I just
Hang
got
on,
an 8.
I'll do that. I got a 14.
Okay. All right. So Elder Jacopo is throwing me off there.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. All right. Elder Green's got 11. Elder Jacobo's got a 14. Gilfin's got an 8. So, Jacobo, you're going first.
Okay.
Then it's going to be the creatures.
Have any of us ever seen a creature like this before?
No, none of you have seen a creature like this before. These would be you would know them out of tales told though, and shanties sung of sea devils. You would immediately come to mind old folk tales of sea devils that have carried sailors away, that have preyed around boats that have capsized or been torn asunder by sea monsters or by war, and that have fed upon the drowning men floating around the wreckage.
These blokes here, they're not a good crew. We'll have to put them down.
They're dark mermaids.
All right, and you notice that these creatures that are sort of man-like and huge, hulking 6-foot creatures, they're armed with sort of primitive-looking weapons. They seem to be made from materials of the ocean. They carry spears made of driftwood, and then they have sort of a fine silvery metal point forged in oceanic volcanoes. Their dress is primitive as well, because they don't really need to wear clothes undersea, but they adorn themselves with the spiked shells of what appear to be monstrous devilish snails, or the horns of deadly sea creatures like narwhals or shark teeth and shit like that.
Sweet.
And they sort of snarl and hiss at you as they drive their spears. So how do you guys want to be arranged on boat? How do you see yourselves? Now remember, this boat is probably 20 feet across by 30 or 40 feet long. It's a really good size. Where would you all say that you are?
Well, I was steering the boat, which was that little lever in the back of the boat. I imagine that.
Okay. Yep. It would have like a steering lever on the, so you would be elevated above the deck.
Right.
And Elder Green, you were leaning over the deck, right?
Yeah, so I would say I was down at the front of the boat, right?
Sort of midship by like the mast, maybe, or on the front on the prow.
I would say on the prow.
Probably. On the prow, okay, yeah. So yeah, you're like I'm still, whatever, Celine Dion out there or whatever.
Yes. That's how I pictured it.
Okay. My heart will go on.
Take me, I'm ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Gilfin probably would be grabbing the mast just out of sheer fear.
Yeah, as soon as the sea got choppy,
Yeah,
he was sort of
hold on to that, kind of clutching it.
All right, so Elder Green, one of the fish monsters, sort of leaps past you, and he's got snapping jaws that seem to stink with rotten fish still stuck in his teeth. And he lunges at you with his spear. It's a 13 to hit.
That will hit.
All right, so he lunges at you with his spear and does 4 damage. Jacobo, 3 more leap up. I'm sorry, not Jacobo. Gilfin, 3 more sort of leap up around you, and they surround you and strike you kind of all at once.
Okay.
Does a 13 hit?
No, because he doesn't have both swords drawn. It's a 14 AC right now.
Sorry, I did not add their bonus.
Okay. We're looking for
It's
14.
It's a 16 to hit.
All right, that hits.
Okay, so let's see. The first one's got a 16 with his spear attack, and then he's going to also lunge and bite. A 9 does not hit, right?
A 9 does not hit.
No. So he's going to stab you in the side with his spear for 4 damage, and then he's going to try and lean forward and bite you in the face, but he just misses with the snapping of his jaws.
Okay.
The one next to him is going to sort of attack in a similar way. He's going to thrust at you with his spear.
I was incorrect. It's only a 15 AC, but that other guy still would have hit. So 15 is what we're looking for.
He lunges with his spear with an 11, but misses you wide. And then he also tries to bite, and that's a 21.
That will hit.
So he bites you in the shoulder for 3 damage. The third one is going to attack you with his spear alone because he sees that you've been wounded. He starts to kind of like hulk up, and you see that his face is sort of drooling a thick green slime, and he's just going to bite at you twice because he's in this blood frenzy. The first one is a 13, so that doesn't hit, right?
Correct. Looking at 15.
And the second one is a 13 as well. He's too caught up in his frenzy. His head is shaking, right? And he just can't seem to find hold. Jacopo, there's 2 more that sort of leap right in front of that little upraised area, that platform that you're on.
Right.
And they sort of crawl up there and jump into your face, also with the spears followed by the bite.
Okay.
So the first one rolled a 20.
Well, yep, that of course.
Natural 20, sorry.
Ooh. The opposite of.
Yeah, so he's going to. So he stabs you hard with his spear and drives it home. He's going to hit you for 8 damage with the spear.
Okay.
And then he's going to follow that up with a bite. That's a 7.
7 to hit or 7 damage?
7 to hit.
Nope.
No. And then his companion's going to try with a 5 with the spear and a 13 with the bite. So he's going to just sort of drive the spear down past you into the planks, snap at you with his jaws, but miss you completely. All right, so now the surprise round is over and your turns begin. Jacopo, you're first.
Where did these creatures go into the order of the attack initiative?
In the initiative order?
Yeah.
In the initiative order, they are second.
Okay, so they're going to go after Jacopo. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, I focus my ire, one that did a natural 20 on me, all right? And
Okay.
I'm going to attack him with my short sword for a total. Let's see here. It's going to be 17 to hit.
17 to hit. That hits.
Okay. So he's going to take 10 damage.
10 damage.
Let's see.
Okay. All right. Okay, so
Now
that's
let
the
me
end of
ask
your
you
turn,
this.
right? Yes, go ahead.
I'm looking at the picture of that boat. Is there a canopy up there like that? On the back of it like that? Just like
We'll say
that
that's
picture?
open to the air, but underfoot is sort of a little wheelhouse where you store your goods.
Okay. I was going to see if there was a canopy up there. I might try to scurry up it and stand up there, but I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay. All right, so you stab the creature that got the critical on you, and you stab him in the shoulder, and he's sort of like, because he also saw the blood damage that he did to you. He goes into sort of a head shaking frenzy. Jack does, and starts snapping his bite at you. These razor sharp, stinking fangs just sort of come into your face. The first one's a 20 to hit.
Yep.
And then he's going to snap and bite at you again. That's with an 11.
First one hits.
Okay, so you'll take 3 bite damage from that first one. And then his partner's going to shake his face in that frenzy as well. Does a 7 hit? No, right?
No.
All right. And then the second bite attack is 15.
That doesn't hit.
All right, so he'll find purchase, but your leather armor sort of absorbs his teeth as you roll your tiny little shoulders out of his way.
Too right, mate. You smell like Elder Green's dinner last week.
Gilfin, the three around you are full caught in the frenzy, but this time they just they start slashing away with their spears.
Okay.
I mean to say, Elder Green, that was some rotten fish soup you tried to make. Woo!
Now that you don't have all your hit points, Gilfin, they're going to actually roll to attack with advantage because they're going into sort of a range.
Okay.
And you kind of start to notice, too, out of the corner of your eye, Gilfin, that part of the wave chop is not just whitecaps, that there's actually shark fins circling the boat.
Oh, no.
All right, so the first one's going to attack you with his spear, Gilfin. The first roll is a 14. The second roll is a 5. So that 14 does not hit. Is that right?
Correct.
All right, his second attack with the spear, the first roll is a 22. That hits, right?
Of course.
I'm not going to roll the other advantage rolls if that one hit. So you'll take 4 damage from the spear.
Okay.
The second one's going to attack you with an advantage as well. Rolled a 15 on the first swing.
15's armor class.
And that hits, right?
Yep.
So his first spear attack will lunge and hit you for another 4 damage. And his second attack is an 11, and then a 13, and neither of those hit, right?
Correct.
All right, and so the third one's going to attack you with a 13, and then he actually got another natural 20.
All right.
Oh, no!
His first spear thrust is going to go into your calf for 8 damage. And his second one is a 17 and an 8, and that 17 hits, right?
Yep.
So you'll take another 4.
All right.
How are you looking?
That's 20 points of damage. I'm still standing.
Okay. Still standing, okay.
I'm looking bloodied.
Looking bloody. Do you want to role play after the attack?
Sure, yeah. Whenever my turn comes, I'll.
No, you go ahead. Like these 3 savage fish-faced monsters just leapt out of the boat, and they savagely attacked you with spears and bites.
Well, he's holding on to the the mast, and he's kind of taking the hits without even trying to defend himself because he's so shook up from the past horrors of his life. And now he's kind of coming out of as he's dying, he's coming out of the haze.
All right, Elder Green, you've got that one that's next to you that leapt aboard ship, and he hasn't been overcome with the frenzy that his brothers have. He reaches at you with his spear. His first attack is a 22. Is that hit?
Yes.
All right, you're going to take 4 damage for that one, and then he's going to bite at you, and that's going to be a 17. So I assume that hits as well.
My armor class is 11, so yeah.
And that's another 3 damage then.
Yikes.
It's your turn, Elder Green.
Elder Green is going to look at this sea creature, and he's going to say to it in Aquan, you never should have come here. And he's going to cast Hex on it.
Okay.
So I'm going to deal an extra 1d6 necrotic damage to it, and he also has disadvantage on ability checks for Constitution.
Okay.
So once he casts that, I'm going to now cast Poison Spray, so he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Constitution saving throw. Got it.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, right, that's right. Okay, so the first roll is a 12, and the second roll is a 17, so we'll take the 12.
All right, then. He will not succeed.
Okay.
So he's going to take damage.
All right.
There we go. Okay, so he takes 13 damage, 11 of which is poison, and 2 of which is necrotic.
Okay. Let's say that's he's overwhelmed by that poison spray and falls down dead at your feet. He sort of chokes on it. What does that look like?
Okay, so Elder Green says, you never should have come here, and then hexes him and blasts him in the face with poison, which dizzies him, and Elder Green just grabs him and throws him over the side of the ship to the sharks.
Nice.
And so I'm going to about how far away is Jack.
So Jack's all the way at the other end of the boat, so you'd have to walk past Gilfin, who's at amidships, surrounded by 3 of those creatures from the deep. Jack is about 40 feet away, though, I'd say, because the boat, or 50 feet away, I'd say the boat's 50 feet long. Red, I gave you stats for it in the week, but I can't remember. There's probably in my chat log, actually.
Probably somewhere.
Well, then I'm just going to stay where I am for now.
Okay. Then Gilfin, it'll be your turn.
All right, let's just start attacking. So none of them are wounded. Just go with the middle one. That's going to be a 22 to hit.
That hits, yep.
So that's with the well, I should say he starts out by he's taking all these wounds. He's near death, and so he snaps out and pulls both his swords out, the scimitar and the rapier. So that's the rapier. He starts with just the D8. It's going to be 6 points piercing damage.
Okay.
Now he's going to attack with the same target. I'm sorry, that's supposed to be +5, so it's that's 21.
And that's 21 more damage?
No. The second roll with his other sword, I rolled.
Oh, that hits.
I meant to
yes,
add +5 to it, so it's 21. So that's going to be D6 +3. That's going to be 4 more points of damage on that one guy.
Okay.
How's he looking?
You plunge the rapier into him and then follow with chop to the scimitar. You've wounded him, so he's hurt.
So I'm going to go ahead and exhaust an action surge to keep on attacking.
Okay.
So that's going to be a 12.
That hits.
Okay. It's going to be 6 points piercing damage.
Okay.
So he's poking at him again.
Yeah, he sort of raises up his spear to get in the way, but the rapier's too narrow, and it finds purchase anyways. And now I just lost track of my number. God damn it! No, I know what it is. Okay, got it. Right. Thank you.
So it's 10. 11,
So this is your
13,
scimitar
14,
to
15,
hit?
16. That was 16 points damage to hit him. So,
Yes.
So, okay. So now I'm following up with the scimitar.
Okay.
It's a critical hit.
Okay.
It's gonna be 11 points slashing damage.
All right. What does that look like?
Well, he's just swinging away because he's brutalized, and he had to take the second wind to get purchase, but he's able to put one of them down.
All right. Nice job, Gilfin. Your turn, Jacopo.
Okay, I am going to cast Hunter's bonus action on the guy who I critted.
Okay, that's the one to your left.
Actually, I hit him for 10 last time, right?
Yeah, I can't remember. Sorry.
Okay, I hit that guy for 10 damage the first time.
Okay, so he's heavily wounded.
I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark actually on the second guy who I haven't hit yet.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm going to draw my dagger as a free action, okay?
Okay.
So I've got 2 weapons in my hand now. I've got a short sword and a dagger.
Gotcha.
Two light weapons.
Yep.
I am going to attack the first fella that critted me the first round, okay?
You got it. He's heavily wounded. Yep.
Heavily wounded. It's going to be, I rolled an 18 before modifiers.
Okay, that hits.
Roll the damage on that. And that's 10 damage on him.
10 damage. Okay, so he's well bloodied. Yes, you kind of chop across his chest and open up a good wound.
Okay, so he's still up though.
Yep.
Well, then I'm going to use my offhand with the. Actually, I don't have a bonus action available to me actually because I used it for casting Hunter's Mark, so I might lose Hunter's Mark here. That's it. That's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right. So yeah, he takes that heavy blow, and he's he's just barely got any fight left in him, but that frenzy sort of takes over, and his bloodshot eyes sort of stare into yours in sort of a weird way. They look inhuman, but you can tell that there's a savagery behind them, and he just wants to tear you to shreds. He's just going to snap at you with both jaws, and he's got advantage on these. The first one is a 6. That doesn't hit, right?
No.
And the second one, though, is 22, so that will.
Mm-hmm.
So you'll take 3 damage from the first bite attack. The first roll on the second bite attack is 11, and the second roll is a 14. Do either of those hit?
No, sir. You're looking for
No.
a 16.
All right, so yeah, he just kind of snaps at you and doesn't find purchase. His partner is going to thrust at you with a spear both times. His first roll is a natural 1, but he's got advantage, so his second roll is a 10. That doesn't hit. His second attack, he slashes across with the spear. The first roll is a 12. The second roll is a 20. Not a natural 20, dirty 20. So that one's going to hit you for 4.
Okay. I rolled for concentration 2 times, 1 to 17 and a 14. So Hunter's Mark was maintained.
Okay. Gilfin, you've got 2 left surrounding you. Both of them are caught up in the throes of their barbarian attack. The first one is going to roll a 19 to hit. I'm not going to roll the second roll, and then you'll take the 4 damage.
Gilfin will drop his swords and fall to the ground.
Okay, so the creature, the second creature turns away from you, and or they both sort of stop what they're doing. The one that dropped you sort of runs towards Elder Green, and the other one runs towards Jacopo. So since he moved, he's going to just end his attack, and the second one is going to attack you, Elder Green. But he no longer has advantage. Have you? You've taken damage, Elder Green, right?
Big time.
Yeah, so he's still going to roll with advantage. His first one is an 18 to hit, so you'll take that 4 damage. And his second one is a 12 to hit.
Yes.
On the first, that hits, right? Okay, so you'll take another 4 damage.
Okay.
All right, and then Elder Green, it's your turn.
Okay, well then, I am going to use my bonus action to move the hex to the creature that's attacking me.
Okay.
And, I'm gonna use Poison Spray again.
Okay.
So he needs to make a Constitution saving throw with disadvantage.
Constitution saving throw with disadvantage. He gets +1. So the first roll is a 10. The second roll is a natural fail, so that's the one we have to go with. And so he's going to fail that.
Then he will take 7 total damage.
All right. And just like the last one before him, he sort of gets that choking death in his face. He grabs at his gills, and he sort of just... You could see the fishy color sort of like turn a white and then green, and then he just kind of falls down dead, choking to death.
Okay.
Gilfin, it's your turn. Oh, you're down.
So saving throw.
Yep. So you got to make a save and throw.
19.
All right. Jacopo.
Man.
You've got one heavily wounded to your right. You've got one pretty fresh to your left, and then you've got one approaching you. You've got your hunter's mark maintained,
yeah.
right? Yep.
Yeah. I would love to be able to get to Gilfin, but I don't know if I can do it this round. He's got 3 death saving throws. I'll try to make it to him next round.
And these are the last remaining 3 fishmen.
They're all coming for me then.
Yep.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start with the guy who I'm on by attacking him with a 11 plus. Hang on, my sword.
If it's +1 or more, then it hits.
Okay. It's 17.
Okay.
So that's going to be 14 damage.
He takes 14 damage, so you utterly destroy him.
So I see Gilfin is just gone down, and I'm filled with like anger. And that fish monster has yelled his nasty, stinky breath into my face, and I kind of like Mad Mardigan back at him. Ah! And I do an Yukin with my short sword and kind of go right up his belly and like jump up in the air as I'm doing it. His fish guts just kind of come on. Yeah. And then I turn and look at the fella who I've got hunters marked, and I'm going to attack him with my offhand, my dagger.
Okay.
And that is a natural 1. So, I can re-roll a natural 1 time. That brings my total up to a 17.
That hits.
It's just a dagger, but he's got hunter's mark on him, so there's no modifier, but the hunter's mark applies. So, it's
I don't
going to
know
be
what Hunter's Mark does. I'm sorry.
Hunter's Mark gives me an extra D6 of damage on any weapon attack.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So there's no modifier because I do not have the 2-weapon fighter style, but he does take 2 dice, and it's going to be a 9 damage.
9 damage, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he's pretty well bloodied.
Very good. That is the end of my turn.
All right, so that dagger kind of flashes out and sticks into him, and he just sort of snarls in your face and snaps his bloody jaws, his frothing, drooling mouth. It's a 15 to hit the first bite.
That's gonna miss.
All right, and then the second bite is he's got advantage, but the second roll is 14, so it doesn't matter. Second time is a 12. And then an 11. So he snaps at you to no avail. The other one scales up to the poop deck and attacks you with his spear. He rolls a 22 on the first go. All right. You'll take 4 damage.
You want to make sure your second roll isn't a natural 20, though.
Yeah, no, it's all right. And then his second...
How much was it? 8?
4 damage the first time. And then his second spear, he'll draw it back and thrust again. He rolls a 15 to hit. No. An 18 to hit.
Yes.
And so that's another 4 damage.
Okay, let me take that real quick.
And then Elder Green, it's your turn.
Okay, Elder Green is going to take a step forward and look at...
about 20
Gilfin
feet away, you've got
on the
Gilfin
ground.
lying on the deck. His arm is still hugging. He tried to grab the mast on his way down. There was an instinct to reach out to hold himself steady, and he sort of just slumped down and collapsed in a pile there.
Right.
He's got the dead fish monsters that he killed. Their bodies are kind of spilling fish guts around him, and the sharks. It's sort of leaking over the ship. The sharks are starting.
Okay. Elder Green is going to step forward, and he's going to extend out a hand towards Gilfin and say, I invoke the power of Dagon. Guide this one back to us, and cast Healing Word on him.
You hear the rumble of thunder in the way off in the distance, out where you approximate the glowing lights of the sea to be.
Sorry, just making sure of something real quick. Got it. Then he regains 8 hit points.
Thank you.
Hey.
All right, so you'll return to the initiative order. Skill. When Elder Green's turn is done.
Actually, I think that was a bonus action.
Yes, it is. That's a bonus action.
Which means that I am going to now cast Eldritch Blast at one of the creatures that is attacking.
I knew it was a matter of times.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fun. So you've got one that's wounded to the left of Jacobo, to Jacobo's left, your right, and then you've got another one that's fresh. Jacobo,
I'll take the fresh
to his
one.
right. Okay.
It is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
All right, then. I'm going to roll my damage.
You roll that beautiful
2 damage.
Ooh.
Oh, wait. Actually, I do add my charisma, so it's going to be 5 total.
5 damage. Okay, so a slight wound to the unwounded one. What does it look like as you slightly wound him with your Eldritch Blast?
I say that he steps forward, having taken a lot of his energy to heal Gilfin, and he's going to fire off a blast of force. It's just going to knock off a few of the horrible thing's scales as it shoots past him.
And did you want to move or anything, Elder Green?
Nope, I will be fine now.
All right, Gilfin. The Elder Green has invoked an incantation, and a green light has sort of infused you with new strength. What happens?
He opens his eyes on the deck, and the mast resembled Mara, his wife. He thought he was hugging her when he went down. He thought they were dancing, and he was happy. And now he's kind of coming back, and he's got that whistle in his ears, like in the war movies when a bomb goes off, and he's looking around, and everything's kind of silent. It's like, ooh. He kind of starts hearing the word, mate, 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 and he sees Jacobo talking. How far away from Jacobo is he?
He's about, so Jacobo's about 8 feet above his head, and then 20 feet down ship towards the aft.
So he's not going to be able to get to Jacobo. Because he's prone.
You could get...
He's prone. He's going to take half his movement to get up.
Yeah, you're right.
So he just stands up, and he pulls one of his 2 hand axes out, and he's going to go ahead and toss it towards Jacobo.
At the backs of the...
yes.
At the backs of the sea monsters, the sea devils menacing his friend.
Yeah.
And just as you kind of get to your feet, the light of the pale sun peeks through the dark clouds and glints off your hand axe as you release to throw.
I hope it's good then. Shit, man. That's a 10.
It whizzes between the heads of the 2 attacking fish monsters.
Yeah,
and also just over the head of Jack.
That glinting sun. Fuck you.
I dodged the axe. Why, Mike?
Now, I would like to use this as a bonus action.
Okay.
Second wind.
Okay.
Did you already use it once?
No, I didn't get to use it. No.
Right.
He only used his
okay.
action surge.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Now,
So it'd be 10 points healing.
I forgot what second wind was. Been a while since I've used it.
All right, Jacobo. Unless Gilfin's got anything else you want to do?
No, I don't think I got anything I can do.
All right. So
all right, you've got 2, one slightly wounded and one moderately wounded sea devil surrounding you with spears. There's the frenzy still in their face.
The moderately wounded one I'd like to look at, please.
Okay.
And I focus my ire on him. This is a monster hunter trait. And I will attack him for... Oh, my God. Oh, a 19.
That'll hit.
So I'm going to roll... Woo! Fuck! I should take a picture of that. 2 6s. So 12 plus 4, 16 damage.
16 damage.
Mm-hmm.
What weapon are you using for that?
Short sword.
All right. So, as you thrust into the guts of the moderately wounded one, you stab, you slice clean through him and into the into the side of his partner. So the first one goes down. What does it look like?
I stab him through his gut, and he grabs his wound, and he trips backward 3 steps and then falls over the side of the boat.
Okay, into the water.
Yeah.
And then some of a shark sort of goes by and chomps his exploding guts as he falls in.
Right.
And there's a feeding frenzy around where he fell in. And you also see a glowing light bobbing just above the surface of the water, sort of like one of those what are those fish that are way deep in the sea that have the lure on their foreheads?
Oh, yeah.
Football fish.
What are they called? Football fish?
Football fish sometimes.
Okay, yeah, you see one of those football fish.
That's
sort
a
of
pigskin fish down there.
Anglerfish
One of those
is what they're really called.
Anglerfish, yeah.
Anglerfish, yeah. You see like
But
an
they are
anglerfish
also called
lamp
football fish.
sort of peeking above the water. You see sort of a man-sized version of that lamp, that headlight sort of thing, bobbing above the sea.
Oh my goodness. So is this other one like adjacent to me, or can I run from
Yeah,
it?
he's adjacent.
I'm going
Yeah,
to try and roll between his legs and run away.
You got it.
So go ahead and take an attack.
Yeah, he'll sort of stab down as you roll between his legs with his spear. It's a 19 to hit.
Woohoo! Well, he hits me.
And you'll take 4 damage.
Okay, I take 4 damage and I go, ow! But I use the rest of my movement to run over and as best I can try to flank Gilfin.
All right, so you guys kind of rally around the ship's mast, and the creature sort of, his frenzy's still in his eyes. He bangs on the deck plate with the butt of his spear, and an even larger creature, a version of him, kind of pops out of the water onto the onto the poop deck and stands beside him. This version is half again taller than his buddy there, and he's got 4 arms. And his face kind of reads with the same fury and frenzy as menace. They leap at the same time from the poop deck towards you amidship, and they reach the group of you. That first slightly wounded fish monster is going to thrust with his spear at Gilfin, still clutching the mast. Rolls a 20 to hit.
I'll hit.
You'll take 4 damage from his first attack. His second attack, the first one's a 15.
15's
and the second one's a 13.
15 hits.
Okay, so you'll take another 4 damage from his second spear. The larger one is sort of going to stare with his bloodshot eyes right at Jacopo. Jacopo, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
All right. Hang on 1 second. I got to look up wisdom saving throws here. I'll go ahead and do that one. Oh shit! I've lost my keyboard here. I'm just roll up the dice.
Okay.
My keyboard must have died or something. Let's see. I rolled a 9 plus 2, so 11.
Oh man, you just made it.
Okay.
Okay. He sort of, you sort of start to hear a ringing in your ears, but then the sound of the waves crash and it sort of snaps you out of it. The monster sort of just growls at you, and then that's going to finish its turn. Elder Green, it's your turn. So you've got a wounded fish monster, and then he summoned what appears to be a larger 4-armed version of himself.
Okay, and how close are they together?
They're standing next to each other, and they're sort of they came up, within reach of you, so they're 5 feet away.
So they're like right next to each other, 5 feet away from each other?
Yeah, they're 5 feet away from each other and 5 feet away from you. I imagine that the ship's about, 10 feet wide. So if you guys are standing out of midships, in a line, sort of three in a line, then they're 2 in a line in front of you, squaring off.
Okay then, as a bonus action, I am going to put... Actually, I already have a hex on the one that I attacked already, don't... Yes, I do. Okay, so... Both of them are going to have to make a strength saving throw.
Strength saving throw?
Yes.
Okay, so let's say the wounded lesser warrior goes first. That's a 12.
Okay, that's a no.
And the other one, the larger one, is a 4.
Okay, good.
So they both fail.
Take full damage, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so they're both going to take 7 damage, but the already wounded is going to take 4 extra damage.
All right. He is. So what does this attack look like? You haven't killed them, but
okay. So I wanted to know if I would kill them or not. Okay.
No.
So Elder Green is going to focus in all of his energies, and he's going to summon up from the depths of the ocean, any power that he can, and what responds is tentacles come up out of the water and just smack at the creatures. And
okay.
it's the arms of Hadar.
All right, so these monstrous tentacles sort of appear from over the ship's rails and smack at them.
Yes. And it's necrotic damage, if that matters. And they can't take reactions until their next turn. So,
okay.
Once I do that, I am going to get as far away from them as possible.
Which direction? So I guess you'd be towards, again, the prow of the ship?
Right.
All right, so yeah, you can move that 20 feet towards the prow. And there's still, you see there's sharks still circling the ship.
Right, and that's the end of my turn.
All right, so this lesser warrior sort of withered before your eyes, but his hulking, monstrous big brother is menacing you right next to him. You can go ahead and take your turn.
I'll start with the wounded one.
Okay.
Give me back my Mara. So that's an 18 to hit. Well, it's really 18
that
plus
hits.
5. So that's with the rapier. Did I not do it right? Yeah, 1d8 plus 3 is 11. So it's 11.
Yep. How do you want that to look?
So he just pokes it right into his fishy face, and then he's got blood drying in his eyes. He can barely see, and he's going to swing the scimitar at the forearm one now.
Okay.
So, that's 19 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. Six plus 3. Valid input, Michael. I roll 6 plus 3. That's going to be 8 points slashing damage. He just kind of swipes at the forearm creature.
All right. So he's starting to look bloody from the slashing and piercing wounds that he's taken, but his armor is sort of still mostly unscathed, and he doesn't seem to be fazed by much of the damage that's been done to him so far. Jacopo, your turn.
I will focus my ire on him, on the big guy, and I'm going to attack with my short sword. This is a 12 to hit.
That does not hit.
Shit. Well, I will try to hit him with my off. And that's going to be 14 to hit.
That does not hit either.
Jesus
Jacopo,
Christ.
use
Okay.
cherry, use cherry.
I can't. He's adjacent.
No, but you can disengage. You can.
I can't. That's rogue shit.
Yeah, but he can't take a reaction. You can move away.
That is true.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he can't take a reaction.
reactions until the start of his next turn.
All right. Well, and I run the fuck to the front of the boat,
Okay.
With me.
and stow my sword.
So as you sort of slash at him with your sword, he sort of ducks out of the way. He seems to be a little bit distracted. He was unfazed by that last damage, but you notice sort of the head bobber following the retreating tentacles as they slither back under the boat and magically disappear from Elder Green's attack. He looks back at you all menacingly one last time, and then leaps over the rail and dives back into the ocean.
Can I get an opportunity of attack?
Yes, you can.
Just in case I can get a natural 20.
Yep.
That's just a 10 plus 5. It would be 15 to hit.
That hits.
All right, so. That's 4 points with the rapier.
All right, so you reach out and slash at him with your rapier and sort of scrape the points across his armor plating, and then but cutting a bloody scratch across his scaly skin.
That was from Mara.
He He doesn't seem to notice as he leaps overboard. You can see the light sort of wink out, and as he sort of sinks deep below the waves. The wind is still blowing your sails sort of around, and it's flapping noisily in the heavy winds, but the skies are clearing up. That little glimmer of sunlight is parting the clouds, and they're sort of dissipating into a late afternoon coastline approaching the marshes.
Jacobo runs back up the boat and tries to grab the steering rod so he can stabilize the ship.
All right, now that the battle is ended, Gilfin, that you notice that there's that as you replay the battle in your mind, not all the sounds of the ocean waves crashing against the shore and the choppy seas were responsible for the noise of the battle. You can tell that there's been some damage done to the boat. The Delgado, the railing of the Delgado on either side looks to have been kind of smashed apart, and you see cracks in the wood of the floorboards, sort of leading over the rail to the sea.
Let's pull her over to the side here. You can work on it, Jacobo. You're good with the hammer and nails, but she'll hold together. She's a good ship.
Yeah, if you pull over there, maybe we can find ourselves there. I might be able to fish in some planks and make
Jacopo, yeah, there are supplies. You know that there are supplies back in the steerage to in order to make patches, and you can take some time to patch it. You know that you could probably patch up the damage. It would take you probably 2 to 3 hours to make a good patch and get it back restored enough to finish the voyage.
I can restore a number of hit points to the hull of a water vehicle equal to 5 times my proficiency modifier.
For what period of time?
Oh, let's see. Provided you have carpenter's tools, you can perform repairs on vehicle. When you use this ability, you restore a number of points to the hull of the water vehicle equal to 5 times your proficiency modifier. The vehicle not to be patched this way by you again until that has been pulled ashore and fully repaired. So it's like a quick patch.
Okay, yeah. Let's say, yeah. The damage isn't superficial, but you can tell that with it, given enough time, that there was something under the sea while you were distracted at the battle was trying to sink the boat, and it seems like you've kind of escaped that just in the nick of time. They haven't done enough damage to start sinking it, but it's just about there. So we'll say that's enough hit points for you to be able to patch and get seaworthy again.
I'll role play it real quick. Gilfin, come over here. Look at this. This damage here.
It's not natural.
No, mate. That comes from something under the water. Reminds me of that kraken. We could have been sunk, mate. We're really lucky to be alive.
I was almost sunk. I saw Mara. We were dancing at the ball. It was beautiful. She was wearing a golden dress.
Well, that's a lovely sentiment, but we're going to have to pull over and to the shore here and get this repaired up so that we can move on.
Well, I think after a fight like that, we could all use a little rest before we go on the second leg of this journey. We're going to have to be careful.
I'm hanging on by a thread, mate.
So, Gilfin, you sort of lash the sail just a notch along the floor that sort of points it towards shore, and you sort of drift into the marsh just where it's shallow enough to put anchor down, and Jacobo can make his repairs. You guys can rest.
Yeah, we're going to have to find a nice little spot, maybe stay the night, or at least stay for a 4-hour period.
I must consult with the great dreamer before going any further.
Yeah, ask him who was under the boat while you're at it.
Gilfin, you know you're still about 30 minutes from where the stronghold would be on the map, so you don't have anything to fear from Lizardfolk scouts in the area or anything like that. You feel confident that the little marsh cove that you've pulled the boat into would be hidden well enough from anybody that would want to take a look.
Yeah, I feel safe here for now. I think we ran off the danger, but
he could come back at any time. I still don't think we should spend too much time here. But I'm telling you, boys, old Shanty, well, he was about to be no more Shanty. And I ain't got enough gold yet for me kids and me wife.
So that's where we'll finish for tonight. Just out of the reach of the Lizardfolk stronghold.
Sounds good. Before we go to that, take that long rest or whatever. Are we taking a long rest?
You can take a long rest, and you can stay. Let's say it's like late afternoon or even evening while you finish your repairs. If you get to work on them right away after the battle, then you guys could theoretically spend the night and begin again in the morning.
That's what we're gonna do. In that case, Jacobo spends a little bit of time to create a couple of handfuls of good berries for everybody to enjoy.
He's making good berries and repairing the ship. He's a pretty good elder, I guess.
You don't have to call me that elder thing, mate.
Did you guys want to try to camouflage the boat or anything like that to prevent against attack over the night?
Well, we know
Hool Marches have a reputation for being sort of a place that weird and mysterious things take place.
Well, boys, do you want to try to do a short rest or a long rest? That's the question. How are you feeling, Elder Green?
Long rest.
Yep.
Well, then we're gonna hunker down here, and we're gonna spend the night so we can go into this lizard village at full strength. But we know that four-armed creature could come back at any time.
Well, I'll keep an eye out. Maybe we can take turns.
You can have a rotating watch and still benefit from rest.
That's what we're going to do, DM. That's what we're going to do.
Okay. All right, so then let's end for tonight, and then we can reschedule a day to pick up part 2 of Danger at Dunwater.